a letter to my 25-year-old self. Well, you know I don't do things by the book. You know that I think out of the box, and I really try to do justice to whatever it is you ask me to come and do. So, first of all, which is very unusual for me, I'm going to read the text because I normally speak freely. So bear with me if I don't look up and try and keep your attention. Just listen to what I have to say. So, as I said, I'm not known to do things by the book. So when my dear friend Mary asked me to write a letter to my 25-year-old self, I wondered what I'd tell my 25-year-old self that would help to influence my destiny. So much so that my forever 29-year-old self now, note, forever 29, would be standing here telling you all that she made all the right choices and now has a wonderful, happy, fulfilled life. I wondered. A pretty tall order, ladies, and the few gentlemen that we've allowed into the room with us here today. Although loving the idea of this challenge, it was difficult, as I believe many of the speakers have already communicated to her. So, acting on instinct, like I said, I don't do things by the book, I felt it best to start, with your permission, with a note to my 13-year-old self. The 13-year-old self that lived through the most profound and formative year of my life, before then ending with some words to the 25-year-old Auma, if I may. So, it's a letter to myself. Dear little Auma, the year has just begun, and in a few days, you'll be 13 years old. Once again, you turn 13 with the new year, in perfect time to move to the next stage of your life. Born on the 8th of January, forget about the year, I remember the thrill you always felt at being exactly the right age for each academic year. Perfect. You walked into every new school year with new books, new uniform, new shoes, new hairstyle, courtesy of your dear grandmother. She was the best cornrow braider in the world, as far as I'm concerned. And a new birthday looming, all new, squeaky clean, and fresh. The thrill of it all never waned, even if after a few months, normalcy kicked in, and the news seemed to be just a repeat of the year before, only harder, with fewer excuses for not being able to be up to the mark. That year in particular, turning 13, moving from primary school to secondary school, you felt responsibility creeping in on you, telling you you were no longer a child, that you are now a young woman that had to give up her tomboyish ways, tree climbing, I love that, still have the scars, football, and other childish antiques, because now you had to sit right, move right, and take up womanly responsibilities. What you loved to do most, sports, and more than anything, playing with your friends, both in school and out, was now somewhat frowned upon. More often than not, you heard, girls can't, don't do this or that. Or because you're a girl, you have to do this, that, or the other. You were slow to mature. You could not see beyond school and play, did not have a clue about life, did not understand the restrictions and limitations that were being thrown in your way. So you rebelled. And rightly so, little Auma. You questioned why. And the question became, to the despair of your father, a fixture in your vocabulary. But only seldom did you get an answer that justified the expectations of you as a girl. The why very often invoked the response, because you are a girl, or because that is expected of you as a girl. In other words, no real explanation at all was given beyond the fact that you were a girl. So growing up, the only girl among brothers, same as you, each day was a challenge to prove that you were more than just a girl. Don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with being a girl. Bar the monthly menstrual period that came with excruciating pain that would incapacitate you for several days at a time, I believe you loved being a girl. However, you wanted to be more than that. You wanted to be appreciated, respected as a human being, a notion that at that time was hard for most to conceptualize. No doubt it was a struggle being the only girl in your household. Long story short, as you approached the age of 13, your world was turned upside down. The divorce of your parents shortly before was followed by a sense of abandonment that became your constant companion from then on. You retreated into your shell, introvert, shy, spoke very little to very few. Hard to believe when I think of the older you, who now has a powerful voice. They are one and the same. So take heart, dear little girl. Everything is going to be all right. Let me reassure you that everything is going to be all right. Do not hide away. Do not go into yourself, slowly but surely killing that bubbly extrovert, confident, cheeky go-getter that you are. Whether you believe it or not, you will be okay. The abandonment that you feel does not equate to not being loved, nor to not being worthy of love. How I wish I could have been there for you. Be your friend, your constant companion, giving you strength to overcome the pain that you are experiencing, show you that you are not alone. So much happened following that divorce. Entry into secondary school, almost fatal accident of your father, followed by the hunger years. Yes, the hunger years. His unemployment, no money for rent, no money for food, and practically homelessness. Thank God for boarding school. It saved your life. So much in such a short period of time. Terrifying. Terrifying to be 13 and feel totally, utterly helpless and alone. I applaud you for making it through that year. That year you learned a lesson in resilience, a lesson that will help you through the years to follow. You literally drowned your fears and pain in competitive sport, swimming, track and field, anything extracurricular. But most of all, you swam. You swam, a loner's sport, because that is what you became, a loner. I can't fault the sport and the extracurricular activities. That you did right. Even though you did not know it at that time, with all the activities you were involved in, you were developing your personality, building your character, learning your strengths, and most of all, learning not to give up, learning that you could count on you. I wish I had been there to tell you that you alone was not enough, to tell you that you did not have to do it all by yourself, that you could not heal the pain all alone, that you could not make it through life depending only on you. I would have told you that it was okay to ask for and to seek the help of others. Such a mistake to think you could go it alone. A mistake to feel you could not count on others, could not expect others to support you. The notion of unconditional love, unconditional sacrifice did not exist for you. Did I forget to mention that the divorce involved your father and your stepmother, with whom you had lived from the age of 4 after your mother and father separated? The same stepmother who told you she could not love you as her own when you were 10. The same stepmother that left only with your 2 younger brothers her own. The notion of unconditional love, unconditional sacrifice did not exist for you. She confirmed this when she left. She left you with a sense that love had to be earned, that one had to be grateful for the receipt of it, and that there was nothing unconditional about it. You were not yet 13 at that time. How I wish I could have been there to tell you that it is respect that has to be learned. That it is respect that has to be earned, not love. Love is given, is received unconditionally. But I was not there. You figured it out yourself and came to the conclusion that the best way to survive, to make it in life, was to never ever rely on anyone to care for you. That, so you concluded, was your job. 12 years later, now you are 25 years old. You have already achieved so much. Scholarship to study abroad, completed your bachelor and master's, tutorial fellow at the best university in your country, and about to embark on your doctorate. Focus, focus, focus. That you have got right for sure. have friends, even a stable relationship. But deep down, you plan alone. You are a loner. We rely only on you, making sure you cover all bases so that if let down by others, you do not fall through the cracks. Your armor is watertight, and any disappointing encounters along the way solidify your resolve to rely just on you. Dear 25-year-old Auma, you have become a wonderful, strong woman. Do not deny yourself by not really letting anyone into your life. Do not mistrust love and constantly put it to the test. You cannot determine nor predict anyone's love or commitment to you. Just give of yourself so that you can receive in equal measure. Because I know that under that strength, that resilience, lies a deeply wounded soul that cannot believe, cannot trust that they can be loved unconditionally, even if it is just for a moment. Dearest Auma, dearest 25-year-old Auma, if there's one thing I would tell you now that I should have known then, it is that you must not listen to the voice of that wounded 13-year-old that you were, that twice abandoned child that did not believe that she was worthy of being loved. Look around you and see all the love that you are receiving. Do not feel that it is only because you are giving as a condition. Believe in it for itself. Embrace it, nurture it, and do not question or doubt it. Do not be afraid of it. Do not ask yourself whether or not you deserve it. Do not worry about whether or not it will last. Enjoy it. Live it in the moment. Do not let fear of abandonment and your cynicism blind you to it. Do not drain yourself of love by giving to others and not retanking by letting others love you back. I know what I'm talking about because I've watched you through the years. I've watched you give so much love while refusing to truly allow yourself to receive the same. Dear young Auma, love does not need to be earned. It is given unconditionally. All you have to do is embrace it. Let yourself be loved. You do not need to first deserve it. This is the surest sign of loving yourself. You will continue to succeed, to achieve a lot, I'm sure of that, off of your own back, solo. You will be admired, and many will see you as a role model, first as an accomplished human being, and then as a woman. That you have achieved. But with all of that, dear Auma, please do not, in the process, forget to take care of you. Give 100% of you, and you will be okay. In order to help you navigate this complex world of ours, look to others to care for you, to help and to guide you, and trust that they will. Basically, dear Auma, give Auma, the caregiver, a break. But at the same time, choose your role models well, because to quote the late Desmond Tutu, none of us comes into the world fully formed. We would not know how to think or walk or speak or behave as human beings unless we learned it from other human beings. We need other human beings in order to be human. Remember that, dear 25-year-old Auma, always. Happy Superwoman's Day from your much-loved, very much older self, Auma.